Welcome back to Sushimi's house. I'm your loving host, Master Sushimi, joined today by my sweet sister, Ice Ice Bubbie.
Hello.
We're back with some more of the Outbound Ghost. We've gotten most of the, like, super figments, I think. And we've discussed a lot of our thoughts and feelings.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just back here. Like, not even a wall of things to break.
Simply chilling. Yeah.
Chilling.
Oh, ha. Ah. You again. So it is just the bosses which, God, that too, the game's bosses were just so, like, I don't necessarily hate this. They felt kind of a little random. Right? You would just be walking down somewhere and then suddenly the screen would get red and start shaking. And it was
I wasn't
like,
a huge fan of that.
so like I think I don't mind the idea in theory because it's, you know, it goes against the formula of knowing exactly when a boss fight's coming. But flip side, like, the formula works. Like, it's there for a reason. So when you kind of decide, like, well, I'm gonna be different, it's like, okay, well, if you're gonna be different, you gotta try and maybe nail it.
Yeah, justify it.
You have to nail the execution, right, or justify it, you know? I think maybe only one of the times Mary outright says something like, I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark, and then you have a boss fight, I think. I see, like, it's not even memorable. Like, I don't even actually remember when the boss fights were. I don't have context for them. I remember hating basically every single one of them. And of course, just now, literally just now, I'm realizing the background for the boss fights, because I remember the first time pointing out, like, whoa, we just went teleported somewhere. It's the same, like, memory palace Adrian had going on.
I did not clock that until you said something.
Yep.
But as soon as you started saying that, I was like, oh shit,
It's
that
the memory
place.
palace. So again, that sort of was something that was frustrating, because once I introduced the idea to Sush off camera, like, hey, TV Trope says a lot of this shit is hallucinations, they were like, okay, well then what fucking wasn't? Did the game even happen at all? Was our character ever real? Like,
right.
it's just,
like it
really, kind of makes everything feel like, what was the fucking point?
Yeah. When you have something like that, you know, like, everybody's kind of an unreliable narrator at that point.
Yeah. Also, like, I will say, again, we just discussed the TV trope of decoy protagonist. The protagonist does feel rather pointless to the entire story once you play through the game.
Yeah.
Besides aggravating swagger. I kind of do like being like, hey, I got swagger. Look at my arms. Look at me. I'm bootlegging Polyon. Like, the protagonist is just there literally just to aggravate Adrian. And, you know, when you play from Adrian's perspective, you can't even be like, oh, the protagonist is Adrian's antagonist. No. Not even that, really, because the protagonist is in no way going directly against Adrian. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, sure, you could be like, well, the protagonist kind of antagonizes Adrian because they know that when they get near Adrian, it causes him to have a big old migraine or whatever. But it's like, yeah,
but
the
even know that.
That's true, because I don't
Adrian
think
just runs.
ever communicates that. Like, Adrian
He only communicates it to Michael, which we find out
Michael's
way later.
Nah,
and Michael's like, weird. Anyway. And it's like, well, hold on.
Adrian goes, should I tell them? And Michael goes, nah, let's do this a more obscure and fun and stupid way. And it's like,
let's play Super Spies about it.
So Michael was the real antagonist.
Yeah, truly.
Michael was the actual villain of the entire fucking game, and then he dies in chapter 2.
And I miss him every day.
I really do, honestly. I did miss him. You never know what you've got till it's gone. We had such a good thing going with Mary and Michael.
Yeah. Yeah, when, like, I don't know. I personally find that when the bulk of when the bulk of issues come from, like, within, it's a much less compelling story. And that's a taste thing, right? Like, some people are like, no, I love that shit. Meh.
What the hell?
Meh.
You're a baby.
Meh.
Huh? Aww. Oh, your little face.
Damn, he's fast. Hold up, fam.
Help.
Also, what the fuck are you?
Collision. I know this is new. This is new.
Never fought one of these.
Oh, they're little tigers. So sweet. Yeah, that's about all the thoughts I had. I'm sure I have more thoughts if you have anything, and then it becomes like a discussion. But I just said everything I wrote down, and then like the big things that kind of stuck out to me on TV shows. Actually, I had screenshotted 2 things for TV shows, so I'm missing those. Otherwise, where is my discussion?
Yeah, I mean, we've had, I think we've had our gripes about like the writing. There's also just
I don't
like
have anything else going on.
gameplay wise, there's definitely some choices being made that I'm not sure are the best choices.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like this little boost, for example, it needs to go farther, faster, like whatever. Because this idea of like this is as fast as we go. Did Ligro go this way?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. I was trying to
You're fighting for your life,
basically. Hold on. No, that's a mimic. There's no way we missed that treasure chest. That's a mimic.
No, that's a mimic.
Look out of here.
Get the fuck out of here with your bitch ass.
Oh, found him.
You're a baby.
Meh.
Turn back, please. Well, that's yeah.
Ah. Interesting. Very interesting.
Like, there's no way in hell this isn't a mimic. Good news is that fucking One Punch Man over here.
Yeah. Well, almost One Punch Man.
Almost. You know what? I would take that.
One Punch Man.
If they were like, you could almost kill somebody with a single punch.
I mean,
Like, would I do it frequently? No. But like, you know, I have it.
good to know you have the option.
Yeah.
It's like, I want this interaction to be over and never happen again.
Well,
And
not
you
even
just
so much that,
fuck
but
somebody.
like I'm in danger. Well, I know I won't kill, but like they'll feel it.
I'll maim.
They'll get close. You know.
They might wish they did die.
They and that's fine. If they have harmed me or a loved one, that's good. Asterisk. I don't actually mean this. Asterisk. Or whatever legal thing I have to say. This is all a joke. But yeah, it's like, yeah, I could almost take somebody on. It's kind of like you have a superpower where you do everything like okay, like everything's average. It's like, great, you can be an average surgeon, be an average plumber, be an average anything.
That is
Anything
true.
you do is average. It's
it would be
fine.
pretty cool if you were just like, oh man, I need some electrical work done. It's like, well, I'm pretty average at being an electrician.
It's like, well, sure, I'm not the greatest, but like, it will get done and it will get done well.
I'm no journeyman, but
Yeah, it's like, you know, average. That's
it'll
your
work
power.
out.
Your powers, it's average. Average. And like, can one truly know what's like really, really good 99% electrician work versus like average? Probably not. Now, you'll know what's bad electric work.
That's true.
Sorry,
I
but
hope I'm
continue
going
with
the
the
right way.
mechanics of the game.
Right, so like this little boost is like just enough to piss you off. It's like those tiny Cokes.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked about those, like those tiny little Cokes. Well, those tiny little soda cans, right? Typically for me, the experience is Coke, but for the sake of being a little bit more applicable, those tiny soda cans, they give you just enough to like get a taste and then be like, man, I sure wish I had more of this beverage.
Yeah.
You know, or as I often say, just enough to piss you off.
Don't have to piss you off.
So yeah, like it would be hell if there just was no boost. Like imagine if this was the entire game.
Yeah, that'd be a little
rough.
rough.
It'd be frustrating. But this is almost more frustrating because it's like, man, I'm not even sure I'm going that much faster.
Right, is it really that much more efficient? Yeah, no. There's that. We've talked about this menu scrolling where we really wish you could just go from top
like
to...
scrolling up would be so helpful. An easier way to know about statuses that didn't involve being in active combat.
Or scrolling a big old menu.
And scrolling a big old menu, yeah. It's the combination of the two is not great.
The sort of balancing we of course eventually were like, fuck this, and fucked with the percentages and stuff, and it was fine. But like, ideally a game shouldn't require you to have to do that in normal mode. Hard mode, yeah, definitely, it's hard, that's the point. You chose that. But when you're playing like normal and you're like struggling,
yeah, I mean, because it's almost like an accessibility feature, right? Like for somebody who is abled, an accessibility feature shouldn't be a requirement. It should be something that's like nice to have, like a bonus.
Yeah.
And of course it should make somebody who is differently abled or disabled like able to enjoy the experience,
to partake.
Yeah. Or yes, partake is the best word, because you cannot make something that is objectively enjoyable for everybody. That's a absolutely impossible task.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this guy is up this way, but like,
I don't know, this place gives me the heebie-jeebies, so...
I mean, yeah, that's fair. But
which it's supposed to. I know, but, I don't love having to be back here.
I'm not a huge fan, no.
Well, you have assumed wrong. I don't see the baby boy.
I also don't.
I don't see the baby.
It is kind of wild that there's nothing here. Like, we got here with Levi as
Adrian, and it was
Adrian,
yep.
And it was just like, well, time to turn back.
Like, yeah, this is where my folks used to live. It's like, yeah, where do they go? Well, they're dead and they were bad, but I won't tell you that. Anyway.
I lost track of this homie.
Alright, hang on. Does your guide say anything? If not, I can also...
It says it's his name. Hold on, Ligru.
Yeah, I know Ligru is who we are following.
I think I maybe missed him. I don't think he actually makes it all the way out this way.
Oh, please.
But yeah, the boost, the menus, a lot of the combat kind of feels unnecessary. I don't know, like, so this is, a Paper Mario like. So more often than not, what that involves is like, hey, you want to see combat that is engaging, because it's active, and because it's active and because it's varied and has a lot of character to it, it feels important. So why is every attack the same in that you're just pressing A with different timing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
Like, give me a little bit more variety. Also, like, I don't know, like, the idea of fighting with the figments is, like, neat in theory. But again, it kind of makes it so that your characters don't matter. Like, okay, why should I get attached to the protagonist? Or, Aiden or Levi, any of the figment users, if they are not themselves the combatants.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So, upon returning to the tutorial world, you'll bump into him along the path. He'll run off somewhere. Encounter him again in the next section off to the left side by a dead end. Oh, it doesn't actually say where he goes. Well, then again, if you return to the campfire by Pride. And that's Pride. So there's a campfire near there you need to find him at, I think. According to this thing.
Okay, so I think you're looking at the same guy that I am. But
Where
like,
it's
I was
just
just
all the
over there, he
figments.
wasn't there.
Oh. Oh, this time, however, go down over the ledge to find him waiting.
Go down over the ledge, find him waiting.
So, I guess go back over to the campfire near Pride.
Okay, hold on. I gotta make this big ass loop. I'm gonna have to fight these cats.
That's okay.
Just so that I can, like, explore freely.
It's not like it takes that long to, like, get rid of them anyway.
That's true.
Little kitty cats. You just explode them. Yep, dead.
Like, overall, I think the problem is, like, nothing in this game really wows you. Besides, like, the aesthetics. Like, I love the character designs.
Yes, that I will say.
That's sort of the, like, beginning and end of where this game is
The idea
impressive.
thing I do want to focus on some positives, because that just does sound like, oh wow, why did you guys even like play this game? And it's like, well, we were, first of all, we were of course suckers for Paper Mario, so we were excited for a Paper Mario like, obviously, hence why we played Bug Fables and this. Do still love the design of the apparitions, the figments, the characters.
Well, that's not what I want.
Oops. Even like this guy we're playing right now, this like knight, I love.
Super interesting. Would
love
love if he had a story at
right,
all.
it would have been nice. I think it was definitely a weird choice to make this what happened, where you like,
Yeah,
so
dude, he's just like not over here.
over the ledge waiting.
Oh, over this ledge.
This ledge. Litlin. What is that word? Litlin? Litlin?
I think he's like little one, but like little.
Little one.
Mayhaps this could this mean figments as well?
Banish this memory for you. Okay, interesting. I'll fight a big boss for you, little boy. It's okay.
A big cat.
Yeah, so yeah, like a weird, I forgot what my point was. Weird choice for something.
To have us play this character with no introduction or
Yes. Besides, I guess at some point we ran into him in a bar, tavern, something. I don't know.
I couldn't begin to tell you what he said.
Because I will say, a lot of the NPC interactions were kind of not super memorable. Or if they
I did them because I thought they would be memorable, or because I thought that I would get something out of them.
different. Like, you even went through them again with, like, Adrian.
Yeah.
Went back through the entire
and for the most part, they were just,
town.
like, in the way.
Yeah. And, like, things that you were like, this should be more of something.
Oh, Ligru is straight up.
The one. Yeah. We just pocket him. We pocket that cutie. We're like, mine.
Oh, shit.
Ligru is packed.
He fucks.
Packed with peanuts.
Patient Punch deals basic damage to the target and increases damage by 35% per action this turn.
Damn. So yeah, or even the ones that we were like, oh, this should totally be something, or this would be so cool. And before you say it, I know they're talking about introducing side quests in the game, but like, this should have already been in here. Okay, like, we don't know anything about the last human in Outbound, because we know that there's that one woman in the hotel room who's blocked herself in, who is still alive.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's wild that we just don't interact with her.
Yeah. We don't interact with her ever.
Just running through my apparitions now. Hold
yeah,
up.
so I think you and I think did have the exact same guy. Yes, I see over now. Or over your shoulder, whatever. So like that was left kind of whatever. Grandma's deal. I understand.
Was this always kleptomania?
Yes. We know that, sure, like, you get older, you have memory issues, whatever, so grandma passed at an older age or was killed at an older age and therefore may not remember. But, like, this woman has a big-ass hole in her head, and I don't know if that's, like, oh, well, this is metaphorical for the fact that she has bad memory, or, like, she just, like, did Adrian shoot her fucking brains out? Like, what the hell? Like, that's just kind of left very, like, yep, she can see figments, but she doesn't remember being able to see figments or able to, like, communicate with us about it or whatever. It's like, really? So that's, yeah. I'm trying to think what else is left, kind of. This is not as much of an important thing, but still valid. The fact that, you know, the dog, whatever their name is that I can't remember right now, is a ghost. What fucking unfinished business does it have? It's a dog.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. You point that out and I was like, yeah, no, that's fair. That's weird. Same with this fucking guinea pig following us around. Why is it a ghost? Is it a ghost?
Not even really sure.
Because it doesn't look very ghost-like. It floats
floaty,
with us, but like,
it.
you know, we don't know what real people look like in this game. We never got to meet them. They, I guess, may look like that weird 3D cinematic shit we were seeing. I don't know. Yeah, no.
Alright, I'm looking for... We missed a figment straight up, like, during our regular playthrough.
Oh, oops.
Corruption.
I think we may have attempted it and got our asses kicked. Because corruption sounds familiar.
Let's see. It says, after a bit of bogging around in Soggy Swamp, you'll cross a bridge and find a campfire.
What the fuck was that?
What was what?
Go back that way? Something was here. Something spun in there. Like wind, like over there where those lights were while you were over here. You were just like, it was like an off screen, like, like wind went like this and just spun. Like something was there spinning.
So weird. I missed that. I was trying to read.
No, I know.
Right, so it says, after a bit of bogging around in the Soggy Swamp, you'll cross a bridge and find a campfire. So, which bridge? If you want to harness your inner Dr. Blight and then extinguish the surrounding torches to lower a ladder nearby.
Oops, Achita.
Yeah, we're just gonna go long on this one because I don't want to do, like, I don't think we have another 20 minutes in us of, like,
no, because once you get corruption, like, we're done.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
corruption probably won't take long.
Corruption might be the last one that I'm missing.
I think it is. Because I also looked at the guide and it looked pretty.
Oh, that was a weird bit of...
Little bit of a noopsie.
Yeah,
Woo! So...
Yeah.
You know, telling you all my thoughts on this thing wore me out, clearly.
Yeah.
I mean, I told Sush literally the next day, like, I am ready to talk about this.
Yeah, I mean, I think it took us, like, I think we were kind of stunned when it was just, like, over.
Yeah, it was just, like, the end, question mark, and we were like, is it? We also have question mark.
Which, by the way, I hate that.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that in, like,
that
any
would
form
have
of
been
media.
That would have been fine had Chapter 5 had more clues and hints and things. But it doesn't.
Yeah.
It didn't. And it's like, yeah, no. I don't know if that was them being like, maybe we get a sequel, which, like, I don't think so.
Would you mind looking up corruption? Because again, this guide gives very little details. It talks about crossing a bridge and there being a campfire, and then there being a bunch of lamps to turn off, and that lowers a ladder. But, like, there's a lot of bridges and a, you know, small handful of campfires.
Fucking the wiki. Again, the game's not popular, so I can't blame them too much. It's like, how to unlock. Nothing.
Eat 'em.
Nothing's written.
Wow.
It's empty. It's empty. That section is just straight up empty.
Good shit, Wiki.
Yeah, because the one I was gonna pull up is the all figments and the all figments and Outbound Ghost is the pro game guides one where it's literally fucking bullet points, which was absolutely nothing.
I guess you do get like most of the apparitions that you fight, you get in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, as it turns out, but you know.
I wasn't sure if that would actually be the case.
No, that's fair. We had no idea. Yeah, no, I got nothing. Besides, like, the one you have pulled up and then the wiki that doesn't say anything. Let me try this stupid bullet point list again, because maybe it'll have something. Yeah, no, never mind. This literally was worthless.
Cool and good.
I don't want to call the author out, but you need to improve your work. There's a review, which is not helpful. It's just a whole ass review. Oh?
What?
The picture changed. Look at that first picture. It's just some dude.
Huh. Weird.
But if you click on it, it's just the wiki. It's just some guy getting caressed weirdly, I guess. I don't know why the fuck it's doing that. Must be something like Adam. And I can't even click like a hidden figments video because that's not what this is. This is not a hidden one. This is one that we missed.
Well, if we miss it, it's hidden.
To us?
No, I mean like if it weren't hidden, we would have gotten it automatically.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me look because it will. Hidden fig. Yeah, no. Oh, but it's the fucking same wiki. So when I click on corruption, it won't actually take me anywhere.
Going to explode.
Yo. That's the hard thing with playing a game that's not popular. You don't get a lot of help. Because, yeah, you know. Oh. I don't know that this is going to happen. Oh.
Yeah.
Doop, doop, doop. Like, I really wish, like, I googled it. I googled corruption Outbound Ghost. But, like... Nope. Oh, when did I take off my glasses? Why did I do that? Who let me do that?
Oh.
Which one of you let me take those off?
Weren't me.
And which one of you were it?
Yeah, like, I'm lost.
Yeah.
It's like... I'm nothing if not thorough in these games, you know?
Yeah, no.
So the idea of, like, just genuinely missing one of these things is kind of wild already. But then, you know, having it be somewhere so hidden that I'm just like, I have no idea, dude.
And to be fair, you know, it may not even been a miss thing. It may have been like you didn't have the proper tools to actually get to it, because...
Well, this guide says that this is available in, like, chapter 1. When you're, like, in this area for the first time.
Oh, wow, okay. So, genuinely was just sort of a whiff.
Basically, yeah.
Oops. That's so weird.
But again, because oh, wait. Crimson text.
Okay. Get that saved, just in case corruption takes us out. You never know.
So it reached a point where we stopped bothering with the candles.
Because
And I guess I just
It
assumed we
seemed
would
like-
come back around to that ladder some way.
I do remember you being miffed about the ladder. I see. Okay.
All this for a thing that we're, not really going to use.
No, not really.
Oh god, it's so weak.
Yeah, well, we did do the thing where we were like...
I know, but like...
Actually, to be fair, even with the extra damage, we probably wouldn't have.
I guess let's check out corruption.
Let's see, corruption's got going. What you got going, corruption?
Probably a lot of poison stuff.
Yeah,
Minor poison, power sap, poison poke, field poison, zap.
Oh, it does have an attack. It's got triple strike.
Yeah,
Okay.
triple strike, max field poison,
Damn.
burn, field bolt, freeze, curse, infect. Yeah, infect is max poison to the target for 5 turns.
Wow.
There's also max field poison,
Yeah.
but that's less turns.
Corruption actually would have been pretty good.
Yeah, corruption would have been pretty good. Let me just double check, make sure there's nothing that I'm missing. I doubt it, but
Yeah, no, the list at this point looks pretty thorough, but definitely can go
pretty
through
complete.
it. Yeah.
Siphon, sycophant, here. Control for some reason is listed as Armstrong here. Weird.
Definitely have that one.
Detachment, yeah. Doubt, which ended up being like an MVP. Cynicism, we have. Pride, we have. Loyalty.
We have, I'm pretty sure.
Did we pick up loyalty?
Oh, actually go back up? Maybe not. Oh no, we're missing loyalty. Okay.
Yeah.
So weird.
This one, let's see.
I mean, it's definitely the snow region.
Rundoyer outskirts. So we're going to the outskirts. Okay. There's a bush off to your right. I'm assuming that's like when you're coming up in there.
Oh, I guess your guinea pig touching the ghost counts.
Oh, is that what happened? I thought it just straight up got me.
No. The guinea pig, or well, it touched your guinea pig, I should say.
Fair.
Sounds like a euphemism. It's not. Just got a pet guinea pig.
Touched my guinea pig.
Have an actual pet guinea pig. Wouldn't you know it?
Yeah, that's pretty
I
missable.
like that we were like, we're not gonna go for another 20 minutes. I mean, to be fair, we still have like 6-7 minutes before we would make the other 20 minutes, but we didn't know. Oh well.
Yeah.
Hey, you get a long one.
That's true. You get a thick sode.
That feels appropriate. That feels finale worthy. You get a nice thick sode. Wow, these guys lived past 2 people attacking.
Yeah,
wow,
I mean, they're pretty chunky.
The whole crew had to get in on it. Damn.
And Bob was just like, whoa, I was retired.
Right. Bob was like, I was out of the game. I was done.
There's this loyalty.
Oh.
It's kind of weird that it's a figment, because a lot of them are bad. Not all, but a lot.
Yeah.
Freeze,
We'll trust.
Thawbind. That's true. Not bad, honestly.
Truly not bad.
Let's see. Anger, we definitely have. Mockery, we have. Avarice, we have. Repel, we just got not too long ago. And then it's just the major ones. So yeah, that's
Actually game.
That's actually game. Got all of the figments. Albeit in a weird order.
Yeah, oops.
We got, I think, all the achievements for making, like, aspects is what they're called.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we kind of talked a lot about our negative feelings about this game, which I do feel kind of bad about, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I
like,
still want it to be known, like, this was still a fun playthrough, it's in no way do I like regret it. Not at all. Like I still the game was fun.
I've definitely played worse things.
100%.
I mean, like by the end of the Surge, I was just like, why the fuck am I playing the stupid fucking game? Like I was mad that I was even playing it because it just wasn't what I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
I was also, you know, going through some shit, but for the most part, like that's not a game I would like to go back to. And this is a game that, like, I think the timing of it is pretty unfortunate. Like, we were excited, so we got it, you know, at release. I think maybe in a year or two, if the dev actually comes through on their, like, promises. Where is Grandma, by the way?
All right, let's check on Grammy.
Nowhere to be found.
Grandma suddenly remembered her burden. And we took her with us.
Did we ever go that way?
Actually, if we check the train station, are our characters there?
That'd be wild if they were just standing there doing nothing.
Or like grandma's there.
Yeah. Oh, this is like the first Sendal we talked to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never came back to him.
Thank you, Sendal. Aha.
Aspect gem. And a nothing?
Aspect gem.
It's something showed up, but like for a brief blip. I'm gonna assume it was an aspect gem.
It was.
I guess I can go to the train station, yeah.
May as well. End it there. Full circle. Or whatever.
Sort of.
Closed loop.
Yeah, I mean, like, stylistically, this game is dope.
Yeah.
I love, like, cute, spooky things. Like, something that's, if you've been following me for a while, you probably know this, but, like, my favorite type of Pokemon are ghost Pokemon, for example. Mostly because a lot of them are just like, look at Kihano. That's a cool little motherfucker.
Yeah.
He'd be like Ghost Steel or whatever, and I would love that. Their characters are not here.
Do you have anything to say?
Okay, the same thing he used to say.
Oh, true. So would our characters not even actually be able to leave?
Watch out for those doppelgangers, nasty things. Dude floating in the water.
Chilling. Well,
Good news.
great news.
Not possible.
No fear.
Yeah, nothing different over here. Yeah, I think if the dev follows through on their sort of like timeline plan to flesh out this game with like side quests and stuff like that, I think it'd be really interesting. I still think the writing is fairly, I don't want to say poor, but like mediocre.
Could use a little work.
Like, it's not fantastic. It's not blowing me away. It's not like so repugnant that I'm like, that's bad writing. But like, I'm just like, yeah, all right. It's just like not impressive.
Yeah, no, like it's very like, yeah.
And I think like some characters got personality, and that's like where all the personality in this game went. Like, Kihano, what's your deal? Don't know anything about you.
Yeah.
You know, the enemies that you fight are, I mean, they're just machines. They're just,
they don't really have,
they have behaviors, like set behavior patterns, and they follow them, but like none of them talk to you, not even the bosses.
No, the bosses, it's just like, well, why are you a boss? Who made the decision that you were just bigger and harder?
Yeah, and you just show up at some point with, you know, very little warning. It's just like, oh, it's grayed out, and I guess I'm getting a headache. Excuse me, sorry.
Gray, not red. That's what it was.
Yeah. I don't know, like, one of my favorite things about, like, Paper Mario 1, for example, which isn't even my favorite one. I'm partial to Thousand Year Door, like a lot of people are. I'm just not annoying about it, I promise. But, like, OG Paper Mario, one of my favorite chapters, even, is the the Forgotten Forest chapter.
Yeah.
Where you go through the Forgotten Forest or Forbidden Forest, or it's some FF, but I'm pretty sure it's Forgotten Forest. Where you go, or no, Forever Forest. Because the idea is that it loops you around over and over and over again.
Right.
But like you go through the Forever Forest, you make it through, you know, just like scrambling your little 8-year-old brain. You make it through the Boo Mansion, and then you're like, okay, you know, this place has like some cool puzzles to solve, and like all the individual Boos, like they're all stinkers, but they all have like fun personalities and like different things about them. Also, that you can like save this Star Spirit and then be told, hey, actually, you don't get to save the Star Spirit until you help us solve our big problem, for which the like monarch of this area is gonna follow you. And it's like, oh, okay, so you gain a party member. You go to, you know, the Gusty Gulch or whatever, because that's where Tubba Blubba is, and it's where his home is, where he's been kidnapping Boos to, and presumably eating and killing Boos.
Yeah.
And like Tubba Blubba has so much personality.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's like kind of big and a little boisterous, but he's also a huge coward underneath it all. Which you find out later. And he's got this like heart that like was the problem, so he had it removed, and that's what made him invincible. Like, it's just such a neat little chapter. There's so much personality to, you know, the characters that you interact with, and then the actual boss. I would have loved for any of these bosses to have a story reason to show up, except for, well, I wanted to put a boss there.
Right, because
some of them don't even show up at like times that make sense. There were times where it'd just be like, oh, really?
right.
Okay.
And then now that we know, again, that all of these apparitions are like emotions, which we have known, now that we can actually see what each boss is, it's like, well, did it make sense for that to show up at that time? Mm-hmm. Like, let's look at them real quick, like, while we're kind of...
Yeah, sure.
Or look at, like, the big ones, right? Okay. Oh. So we have, like, Outrage. When did Outrage show up?
I could not tell you.
When did Manipulation show up? When did Taint show up? When
Taint showed up in the forest or the swamp.
Right, but I'm trying to think like
Repel showed up in the desert, but like this is just because they look like the area that they're from.
Right.
Not because there was anything significant about them being there.
Right. I think that's my point. Is like, yeah. Yeah.
And then like chapter 5, okay, you pick up these things.
What are you gonna do with them?
I mean, yeah. What are you gonna do with them? Because it's not like there's New Game Plus.
If you,
but these should be absolute crushers. 4 abilities.
Yeah, I guess to be fair, the what are you gonna do with these is unfair, because ideally you would pick them up to fight the other one. Like you would pick up, let's say for example, Manipulation to fight Rejection or something. Like I don't know the actual order, but you get what I'm saying. Like, we just blasted through it because we changed the settings in our favor because we didn't actually want to have a hard fight. So, I mean, again, none of this is to be like, oh, this is a bad game. No.
It's just this game came out sooner than it should have. Had this game been in development for another year, maybe even 2, this could have been an absolute banger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, as it stands, I would much rather have just played Bug Fables again, honestly. That would have been a much more enjoyable experience. Which again, not to say that this experience was like unpalatable. I've had fun. It just doesn't feel like a good use of my time.
Right, once you get to the end, you're kind of like, now wait a minute. There's some things back there.
Yeah, like the only feeling I really walk away with from this game is like, that's it?
Yeah, that's that. I mean, when we last recorded, we were
stunned into silence.
In my head,
it wasn't until like the day after that we were like, "Hey, hold on,
let's unpack that."
Sucked.
Yeah. No, when we went to record that, in my mind, y'all, we were 3/4 of the way through the game. In my head, we had, or I guess 4.
We would come out of Adrian's like. We would leave Adrian's shit and finally get back to the quote-unquote real protagonist, who turned out to be a decoy protagonist.
Right, even if the last chapter, again, I had no idea how many chapters it was, but even if chapter 5 had just been the explosive aftermath... Fuck. If chapter 5 had been this, but then also you talk to somebody or you like run into Frank, and it's like, yeah, you know, damn shame what we found out about Adrian, you know, we ran him out of town so fast or something. Like you find out that you're playing the events or the aftermath like months later, and it's like, well, yeah, no, protagonist and Linda are nowhere to be found because they wanted to leave to find out about figments.
Hell, have us hunt Adrian.
And that, right, you're hunting Adrian. Like, Quijano is just like, I'm gonna go hunt these figments now. Why?
I don't even think he says that.
Also,
I think they tell you that in a menu.
Yeah, also, now we're up to 8 people who can see figments. Quijano now can too. Who is this guy?
And presumably so could, like, one of our figments was a living thing that could see figments.
Yeah, right, that actually opens a new window now. Legro was yeah, or Legro. Yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, I think I agree with the sentiment of this could have used more work. And of course we were like super excited and wanted to jump right in on it. So
it's also a bummer because like now this developer is in like a legal battle with their publisher.
Yeah.
Because the console release was apparently a mess. Like they specifically were like, do not buy the console release. It is not the game that I want you guys to play. I'm so sorry, but like it's out of my hands. The publisher did it and I will be suing them for it.
Yeah.
Which is just like, damn, that's wild. But also, maybe if we had waited another, 6 months maybe, you know? Because then you don't have the legal battle and you can dedicate time to just like programming in the stuff that you said you were going to program. Now, I'm not even sure if a year or two is going to make a difference.
Yeah.
Because they've got this legal battle. Like, is it really going to be cool for them to be working on this game while it's in like active litigation?
Right. Also, unfortunately, for video games, once you hit a year of existing, you're old.
Yeah, that's true. It's
People mostly don't jump back for an old game,
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like it's disappointing, and I feel really sad to say that because this game has such charm on the surface.
So charming.
But that's kind of it.
Yeah.
It goes away very quickly.
And I think you made this point earlier saying like you like cute spooky. And this game is like cute spooky. But it definitely, of course, because it's not Nintendo, it's not Paper Mario, therefore it can be a little more
risque.
Yeah. It kind of like it looks cute, but really when you think about it, it's dark. It's kind of a darker game. Especially with that last cutscene, because you were saying earlier, and I didn't even think about it that way. The fact that the game's kind of is introduced in a way where it makes you think this is going to be some like fun
murder mystery,
some
Scooby-Doo shit,
and it'll be like lighthearted because it looks the way it looks, and then it's like, oh no, there was a killer out there, and it's not like the cute Paper Mario chapter where like people are dying on the train or whatever. Yeah. It's like, oh no, it was like a psycho killer, like a man who lost his mind and like killed people because he thought he was doing the right thing, like a mercy kill. And it's like, oh wait, no, this is bad. This is like dark. This is rough.
Yep. Another thing, sorry, because you reminded me of the introductory cutscene and the outro cutscene. So there's a point in that cutscene, we had to go back and listen to it.
Captions.
It was like,
should have had captions.
Yeah, absolutely, captions. I mentioned that when we started the game. I mentioned that during the like quote unquote finale of the game. Captions. That's not optional. This game's volume is like weirdly unbalanced, so we had to turn it down to
settings.
We had to turn it down to 20% so that it wouldn't like overpower us. Therefore, like, we had no way of hearing that shit.
Yeah, no.
Even if we could hear it, like, hey, we're abled people with like functioning
right,
ears.
You still should have.
That's not everybody.
Available.
Let captions be an option, and honestly, turn them on by default.
Yeah.
Because that cutscene, both intro and outro, like it's unintelligible unless I like boost the volume to uncomfortable levels.
Right. Also, like, it's kind of jarring because you only see that cutscene twice, beginning and end.
Yeah, like
So
It
kind of
would have
like
been kind of nice to have cutscenes like that, like between
throughout.
titles.
I guess technically, you also have that sort of that style of cutscene as Adrian, right? When you keep showing you core memory.
Muffling turned off. Which apparently that was an option that was added in later. The game did not originally have this option to turn that off.
So
which, yeah, nice.
You did have that style of cutscene as Adrian when you kept visiting the core memories, but
yeah, but again, like
that,
it's almost like a visual gag. Like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It would have been nice to like break it down a little bit more, have the game have a little bit more personality, a little bit of more of a guiding hand in terms of the story. But what I was actually trying to get to, because yes, captions are very important, and we do rail for captions because they're that important. In the outro cutscene, so we finally went back and like listened to it max volume. Anytime we spoke, we split our ears. It happens. And I'm sorry for the people who, like, that's just their experience.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Balancing audio can be so difficult. Anyway, one of the things Adrian says in his little breakdown is, like, hold on. I shouldn't have gone in the cave.
Oh, yeah. What cave?
Presumably, if I had to guess, he means, pause.
Oh, I'm about to feel sick to my stomach, ain't I? This is about to be I'm like, ooh.
Hold on. That's not. I mean, like, again, we have to presume a lot in this game because things aren't very explicit. Presumably, he's talking about this cave.
Okay. The cave that nobody makes it out
which
of alive.
Is strictly off limits, outbound mines, property of BB Corporation, Cave of Delusions is what it's called. And something in, I mean, like, there's a lot of mushrooms in here.
So maybe,
one of his, like, rambling things is, like, what's so delusional about being right or some shit like that. So, like, maybe him going on a misadventure in this cave led to
him having this delusion that
him deciding that he needed to help kill everybody. But again, that is a leap of logic that we are forced to make because the story's kind of paper thin.
You have to earn at least silver in mental gymnastics to reach there.
Right, like.
Yeah, no. I mean, that is interesting. I didn't even.
Again,
that does
it's
make
a
me
theory. It's a game theory.
Watch out, Matt Pat. No, I can't make that joke twice.
But we have, and we did.
Oops.
Oops a doodle.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean, like, presumably something in here, like, unlocked figments for Adrian or, you know, caused his sort of temporary madness that led to the murders, because we are led to believe that it is temporary madness because he experiences regret at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, that's just something that we kind of have to assume, and I hate having to assume in a video game.
Right, because it does also sound like he's kind of in denial about it for a little bit, where he's like, I did the right thing. But then it's like, but it's also like, no, what have I done? Nope, that was bad. I killed a lot of people. I gotta go.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I don't want to remember this.
EV. What's that say?
EV.
Advancing tomorrow today?
Yeah, Outbound Mines, BB.
Advancing to tomorrow today.
BB.
Yeah, BB Corporation.
Which, I don't know what that stands for.
Again, they very briefly talk about this hyper-rich family. We don't really get to see much about them. There's just a lot of, like...
Well, there's that, and then there's also Adrian's family that's apparently rich, too. Which he is one of 3 characters with a last name, which is Ackerman.
Yeah.
And then we know that protagonists
and his sister, or their sister,
is Lee.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like, if I had to, like, and again, we don't usually do this for games, But if I had to give this like a rating, as it stands right now, a 5.
Really?
Straight down the middle.
Fair.
Like,
fair.
If it weren't for the channel, I probably wouldn't have played it all the way through.
That's true. You probably would have dropped it.
And even if I had, the ending immediately makes you regret having played it all the way through. Yeah. Honestly, Chapter 4 makes you regret playing the game that far. I was having a great time until we had to play as Adrian. Adrian is not likable.
Yeah, he's not.
Because that's the thing. Like, the reveal that, like, oh no, he's the murderer would have had so much more impact if Adrian didn't feel like a brat.
Right, had I ever liked Adrian in the first... Literally, the only time I get any clarity with Adrian and actually went a little like, oh, that sucks, is when we're talking to Michael.
Yeah, towards the very end of
Because that's the one
Chapter
time
4.
where Adrian's like, should I hash this out? And Michael goes, nah.
Yeah.
That's like the one time. But like, other than that, Adrian sucks the moon right out of the sky the whole fucking way through. I don't sympathize with Adrian whatsoever, and then him being revealed to be a killer made me go, yeah, that makes sense. He was a fucking asshole.
Yeah,
he would do that. He would take the entitled position of, I'm the one that has to kill everybody and free them from their suffering. Like,
if you flipped the script and had Adrian following the protagonist, and because the protagonist, you know, they're at least like a true amnesiac.
Mm-hmm.
And as you learn things about them, you learn to like them more. Maybe that would have been salvageable.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh shit, this guy who's following you isn't just following you to be a dick, he's a killer. I think the problem is like the length of Chapter 4.
Yeah.
Chapter 4 dragged on forever. It was like a third of the game. You're playing this guy that you don't fucking like. You're playing things in reverse order, which is super confusing. The memory breaks are like... They somehow bridge the gap between too long and not long enough between. Like, some of them feel like, whoa, what was the point of that? And some of them are just like, man, we were in that for a minute, huh?
Yeah, wow, that took a while for him to have a memory break, yeah.
Yeah, so like... Honestly, like, Adrian is the weakest part of the game, and unfortunately he is the protagonist.
He's like the right.
Like, again, you designed this really cute protagonist, and then you had us play them for one chapter. Which, honestly, like, kind of blows. Yeah, so I don't know. 5 feels fair to me.
I was thinking like a 6, but I think I also just don't want to be harsh.
I mean, like, here's the thing, right? Like, 5 to me is like, hey, I didn't have the best time. I'm not going to ask for my money back, but I'm not going to play this game. And if I had the choice, I would rather have not played this or not have finished this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
6 to me, again, if maybe if those side quests had been in there, that could have bumped this to like a 7 even.
True. Yeah, I will say quick interesting thing, because you were talking about, you said reverse.
We've gone so long.
I
but
know. You said reverse the roles, and it made me think of the opposite. I thought you were saying, like, what if this was a game where Adrian is following you instead of protagonist following Adrian?
Hmm.
And I'm like, oh, that'd be really interesting, because like, it would be like, if this was Adrian being like, oh no way, you're an amnesiac too, and the main character being like, yeah, but when you get near me, like,
I get this horrible headache.
Happens.
Please stay away. And it's like, no, we have to hash this out.
But it's Adrian subconsciously trying to like deal with you because you're the one that got away in his mind. Like, that to me would have been really interesting.
And suddenly it's like the killer is chasing you, but without killing intent.
Yeah. Like, I think
that to me is
been
a much more interesting story than
so when you started saying
the
that,
killer running away from what is basically a personification of his own guilt.
It's oh no, the consequences of my actions, the game.
Yeah.
That's what it became. It's just this guy going, uh-oh, I didn't remember things, and I spent this whole time trying to remember so bad because I was hoping for some relief, some peace, and then now I have discovered that I murdered a lot of people and that I don't deserve peace. Or who fucking knows? Adrian might have ascended right there and then in front of protagonist and Linda, because he went, oh, phenomenal, I remembered, peace, and then got away with it. He just
because the ending is so open-ended.
You're right. That the end question mark, the more I think about it, the more it pisses me off.
It's a big fuck you.
Yeah, it is.
It really is. It's
It
just
kinda
like,
is.
hey, thanks for wasting your money and time on this, idiot. The emphasis on Adrian and like trying to paint Adrian in a good light makes me desperately curious about what kind of person the dev is. I'm not saying that it is an immediate like damning thing, but I'm just like, man, what would it be like to sit down for a couple hours with this dev and have a conversation?
Well, I was actually curious with you being like saying that. I was thinking like, what kind of person was Adrian before he died?
I mean, like,
but
probably not great. Like you
No,
said,
probably
he's
not.
rich. He's probably entitled.
Yeah.
He went into this cave maybe out of like just curiosity, and like the immediate delusion was like, I am this great shepherd who will bring people across this mortal coil. Like, I feel like even with it being the cave of delusions, that's a pretty strong leap to make from like 0 to 100. So I get the feeling that he already kind of had some,
He's already
like,
halfway there.
some feelings
Before.
of grandeur. So like I can't imagine Adrian was like a better person in life than he was in death.
Right.
Again, not trying to say shit about the dev because that's a whole human person who I've
Right.
not
Like
met.
we don't
and probably
know
will
them.
never meet.
Never. I don't know.
I think the gerbil is a ghost. He's got a little. He's only got 2 front legs and then the little tail.
Oh,
I think that's his little ghostly tail.
I see. What burden do you have, Gerbil? Tell me your secrets.
Honestly, dude, did you murder somebody? You have to tell me.
Did you murder
without
Adrian?
spending 6 hours on one chapter?
Was Adrian about to end it all, and then you were like, "No, allow me,"
That would be so
and then
funny.
you were like, "Well, no, I have to forget about this. I have to drink to forget," and then you died from drinking because you were a gerbil.
See, but then I feel like the moment you find out Adrian was the killer, it's just like, oh, my burden is lifted. I was actually that was the right choice.
It's like, oh, I killed the killer.
I
Excellent.
killed a mass
Actually,
murderer.
the gerbil is hailed as a town hero. Gerbil dies peacefully. Ascends.
Yeah, I think we've gone on long enough.
Far long
Outbound
enough.
Ghost, like cute game, sometimes fun game. If you're going to play this game, honestly,
Don't play for the plot. Just play for the.
even if you're like, yeah, I really want to play for the plot, I highly recommend you live in this screen. Straight up, like maybe you're just like, like whatever. Get all the experience you want, do all the damage you want to do, take as little damage as you want to do, because the combat in this game doesn't really matter. It's neat. It is a attempt at the Paper Mario like formula of combat. It kind of falls flat, unfortunately, but just because of that doesn't mean you can't enjoy this game, because I will say having the option to change that, huge plus.
Oh yeah.
Huge. You know what? I'll change my mind. Those options that'll bring it to 6.
Yeah.
Because if those options were not here, I would be like 4.
Yeah.
This game is barely playable. But having those options does bring that up to a 5. It's up to a 6, and I had forgotten about them. Like I got comfortable with them, hence why I was feeling 5 instead of 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, with those, solid 6. Could be a lot better. But again, if the dev comes through and puts in those side quests, I mean, like, this could be a great game.
Mm-hmm.
But as it stands right now, not my favorite game. Definitely not my favorite Paper Mario like. I mean, Bug Fables beats the shit out of this game in a cage match, straight up and down. But we can't all be Bug Fables.
Just turned away.
Yeah, now it's a album cover.
Mm-hmm.
Straight out of Outbound.
Straight Outbound.
I wish we had more positives to say about this game. I mean, like, it's a beautiful game. It really is a beautiful game.
Yes. No. 100%. Very pretty. Loved some of the details. Like, I thought, like, having quirky characters was definitely fun. Like, character guy that just like runs up and down the mountain was just like, that's fun.
The music is nice.
Music is nice.
At no point was I like, this music is like offensive or hurtful to my ears.
No.
I wish there would be like none of it or
I
less
love
of it.
the enemy designs, character designs. Like, I like the way everything looked. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think that still falls into art style.
True. I think, oh God, I had something I was about to say, and I was like, and now it's gone.
The status effect mechanics are unique, albeit a little buggy. But when they worked, I liked them.
That's true. Yeah, I know. I did like that.
I like that you could have 3 and like adding a 4th would drop off the first one. So that makes you get creative and like, well, I have like, you know, these debuffs on me. Do I want to buff and get rid of one? Or do I want to like focus my turn elsewhere? The enemies also kind of made use of that in a really interesting, creative way.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of like stealing buffs or increasing the duration of debuffs or even buffs. Yeah, there definitely
was a level of strategy that like after a while we bypassed because we were like, fuck it, hit hard. But there is this sort of like you should be planning a little bit, strategizing, and then there's items for that, which we didn't toy. Not items, I'm sorry.
I wish more characters had this field extend.
Yeah.
I also wish it wasn't so expensive. Some of the like balancing in combat could use some work, like the SP stuff, but overall it's not a bad like first draft.
No. I like the Aether concept, the kind of like hold your turn and then you can actually do 2 things next time.
That's actually really good. Dope. I do wish there was more of a use case for it, because not all the characters benefit from it.
Right, but when you did use it, it like felt good, especially because like you have sort of a shield up situation when that's happening too. So it's not you just sitting there doing nothing.
There's also Magic Strikes. Magic Strikes is a really interesting ability because it has the one caveat of like, hey, if you use this, that's the end of your turn. Mm-hmm. No matter how much Aether you have stockpiled, you could have like 5 Aether stockpiled. If you use Magic Strikes, that's the end of your turn.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting ability for there to be only one that's exactly like that. And I mean, I don't mean that I want duplicates of that, but like playing with that Aether up mechanic more could have been super cool.
Yeah.
And granted, I feel like that's a hard ask.
Mm-hmm.
Because that the Aether up mechanic is fairly unique in its own right. And then Magic Strikes is a unique ability within that unique system. So maybe that's asking for a bit much. I don't want to be super harsh based on that. I mean, like, there's a lot of just, like, good, solid details in this game.
Mm-hmm.
But I just not enough to, like, bring it on home.
Yeah.
But again, so charming. Look at this fucking gerbil. Look at Kihano.
Yeah, Kihano. I loved Kihano's design.
I almost want Kihano in his standalone. Yeah, I mean, like he's obviously like a parody of Don Quixote.
I know, but like I love that. For. I'm always.
He also looks like a pepper, which I think a Kihano pepper is a thing that exists.
Yeah.
I would love to see him in like a standalone game rather than this.
Right.
Because again, maybe I'm being a little unfair because I don't like psychological thrillers. Because of the, like, gaps that are often left. Like, ooh, maybe it was all in his mind. Fuck that. I hate that.
Yeah, because now...
And I know that for some people, some people live for that and consume it ravenously. And, like, good for you, white girl. I'm not that.
I was gonna say, that kind of stuff, like, I'm cool with, but I do have the same frustration you run into, which is that it's very, like, well, did any of it matter at all then? Why did I sit here and play/watch this if that's the case? But like, yeah.
But yeah, we've said it a couple times now. We've definitely talked for long enough about this game. I think the last part was like an hour.
I think so.
So whoops, this is gonna be fun for me to edit.
Yeah.
But yeah. Fine game. Not the best game, not the worst game. I've definitely played worse. If you're curious about this game, play Bug Fables. You're gonna have a much better time. If you really want to play this game. It's not a bad game.
No, yeah, but again, by no means
it's just shy of glory. And if you're fine with that, if you're like, hey, I have plenty of time to burn, play this game.
Right.
Enjoy this game. Interesting. You can just kind of sit in place boosting and going nowhere.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna be like looking through Reddit threads to see theories because I need more answers. But that's just
good luck.
But that's just
who game is unpopular.
I know.
I don't
that
think
is
this game
just
was
who I am
marketed
as a person.
I think I was very like lucky might not be the right word, but I was in like the right place at the right time to find out about this game.
Yeah.
Because nobody is really playing this game online that isn't like kind of a smaller channel like mine.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I don't know. Here's hoping that this person, the dev, is able to figure out the sort of legal issues with the publisher, and like the console, like re-release it on console as like a much better game with the like side quests and stuff completed, and maybe that'll revitalize it, sort of bring this back to life.
And also, if you're like hearing this for whatever reason, like, I mean, first of all, thanks, I guess, but also in no way trying to be like, yo, this sucks. Just like hey, we were really excited for this, and like we definitely want more of, not more of it, but more from it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
I think I also just wanted something a little bit more playful, and I thought I was getting something like dark yet playful, and then Adrian had to happen, and like Adrian didn't have to happen. That was a choice you made.
Yeah.
Also, like, hey, if the dev does see this, again, sorry to shit on your game.
Yeah,
I
so
did have a good time with
yeah,
it.
Please. I mean,
I did DM you at some point, and you didn't answer. So like,
oh,
not the most cool.
Side eye emoji.
Side eye. I'm kidding. I don't have any kind of brand recognition for you to like obligate somebody to return a DM, but I mean, good on you, man. I would love to make games. I am not nearly patient enough to learn how to make games. That is just one of those dead dreams of mine. It is what it is. So good on you for making it happen. Even if it isn't my favorite game, I hope it is somebody's favorite game, and that they tell you all about it up and down. But we've talked at length. So thank you so much for joining us at Tsushimi's house. As always, I've been your loving host, Master Tsushimi. If you like what you saw somehow, despite us being Debbie Downers this whole time, please like these videos as you go along. Don't forget to subscribe so you get these videos in your sub box, and ding that bell so you get a notification when they drop in your sub box. Beyond that, there's my Twitter, @MasterSushimi, where I like to tweet fun stuff about video games, the occasional meme here and there. Most importantly, updates about my pup, Mr. President, aka Theodore Roosevelt, aka Teddy. Second most importantly, I tweet when and what I'll be streaming over at twitch.tv/MasterSushimi. As of the time of this recording, we are finishing up Pokemon Violet. We're actually in the post game, I would say.
Yes.
We finished the main 3 treasure stories.
Yeah.
And then there's a little like, hey, here's where like the real kind of big bad is revealed, which is not really much of a big bad, but I think better than Sword and Shield, frankly.
Okay.
In terms of story, anyway.
Yeah.
And then you actually get your box legendary as a playable Pokemon as opposed to just as a motorbike. And then post. Anyway, I'm rambling. We're in the post game for Pokemon Violet, but though by the time this goes up, I'll probably be playing something else. I'm still figuring out what I want to play. But yeah, thank you so much once again for joining us. If you would check out or do any of those things that I mentioned, I sure would appreciate it. It means the world to me. But also make sure you share it with friends, share it with family, share it with foes. Really anybody who you think would be into it, because we want to grow as a community. We want to be loud and proud here at Tsushimi's house, and the best way to do that is going to be through your word of mouth. With all that being said, thank you so much once again for joining us. We'll see you in the next video, set of videos, or stream as appropriate. And in the meantime, I hope you take good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You gotta know you're in for something special. You gotta feel it in your bones. Oh, you're gonna find what you need all in time. If you're looking for it, no. If you're looking for it,